President Xi Jinping has conceived a dream, Chinese dream of an utopian military capable of winning wars. To realize Chinese dreams, President Xi Jinping restructured Chinese military to usher reforms into gigantic People's Liberation Army. China recalibrated 5 theatre commands from erstwhile 7 military area commands. Now, the Central Military Commission, led by President Xi Jinping, will exercise overall political, supervisory and administrative control over the armed forces. The newly formed Eastern, Western, Northern, Southern and Central Theatre Commands will focus on joint combat.
This is our area. This is our area. And you are doing.
Keeping in mind the border dispute with India and possible conflict in near future, China now raises the rank of its Tibet military command, which looks after the security along its border with India, by putting it under the jurisdiction of the Chinese People's Liberation Army ground forces, suggesting it may undertake some kind of military combat mission in future. This sudden elevation to one level higher than its counterpart, provincial level military commands, would mean it will now come directly under the leadership of People's Liberation Army. However, most of the provincial military commands are under the control of Central Military Commission's newly created National Defense Mobilization Department. Until last year, China had 7 military area commands in Beijing, Nanjing, Chengdu, Jinan, Shenyang, Lanzhou and Guangzhou. Of this, Chengdu looked after security of the eastern sector, while Lanzhou in Xinjiang looked after part of western sector, both sides bordering India. As per the new strategic zone plan, both Chengdu and Lanzhou gets integrated into a strategic command region, making it perhaps the biggest area for the Chinese military. Tibet military command may perhaps get a 4-star general instead of a lieutenant general, while Lanzhou, where the combat forces are stationed, is already led by a general. Move to establish the theatre commands and form the joint battle command system is a strategic decision taken by the Communist Party of China, Central Committee and the CMC to realize the Chinese dream of a strong military. China's military modernization program actually entered a new phase in 2015, comprising 3 key security developments. The first trend is China's maritime activities, in which it used assertive tactics to reclaim existing outposts and began building military facilities on large swaths of land in South China Sea in 2015. The second trend is China's growing global military presence. China is working to establish 18 naval bases across the globe. The third security trend is China's large-scale reforms to make its military more capable and politically loyal to Communist Party of China. The new Chinese military structure includes 3 new commissions: CMC Discipline Inspection, CMC Politics and Law, CMC Science and Technology, as well as the General Office. The reform includes formation of 5 more offices: CMC Administration, CMC Auditing, CMC International Military Cooperation, CMC Reform and CMC Organizational Structure and Strategic Planning. There are 6 new departments: CMC Joint Staff, CMC Political Work, CMC Logistics Support, CMC Equipment Development, CMC Training and CMC National Defense Mobilization. Before restructuring, China had 4 army headquarters: staff, politics, logistics and armaments. The overhaul is aimed at moving away from an army-centric system towards a Western-style joint command in which the Army, Navy and Air Force are equally represented. She has also announced the plan to cut the flaps of 2.3 million strong army by layoff and downsizing of 3 lakh personnel. China aims to complete military reform and have armed forces capable of informationalized warfare by 2020. according to a 5-year military development plan published recently. President Xi has been urging officers to build a command system that was capable of winning wars. Chinese military of the near future will be very different from the Chinese military of the recent past. To make its military strong, China in December 2015 also established a Strategic Support Force and a PLA Rocket Force. PLA Strategic Support Force is a new type of combat force to maintain national security and an important growth point of the PLA's combat capabilities. The Rocket Force succeeds the lower-ranking 2nd Artillery Corps. Rocket Force will command strategic deterrence missions and will control nuclear and conventional armed, ballistic and cruise missiles. Both these forces become a full service with a status equal to PLA, PLA Navy and PLA Air Force for military capable of winning wars. But it is a moot question if India is monitoring and keeping pace with China's evolving military strategy, doctrine and force development.